Good evening, welcome back to Hux Media and welcome back to a history of video. I've done the history of BBC and ITV, so why not do Channel 4? That's exactly what today's programme will be about, so enjoy. From the mid-1950s to the early 80s, there were only 3 channels on television: BBC One, BBC Two and ITV, the latter being the only commercial channel on the air. As soon as the Broadcasting Act was enforced in 1980, a third station could be made. It's weird to think that 40 years ago, new channels on TV were being created so sparsely, as now with digital TV we have access to hundreds of different channels. However, you've got to think that not much media could exist in the analogue format, and factors such as competition between stations and cost to keep channels on the airwaves meant that there wasn't room for many channels. Originally, the idea for the next commercial channel was to have a second ITV join the airwaves, and whilst ITV2 was created in 1998 as a digital-only channel, and I don't literally mean a new ITV, but as ITV was the only commercial channel on TV, the Parliament saw this as an opportunity to establish something new to commercial television besides ITV. With that, the fourth channel, Channel 4, was born on the 2nd of November 1982. Branding was set up for the channel with a CGI logo and equally iconic 4 score.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be able to say to you, welcome to Channel 4.
Early on the aforementioned date, continuity and programming for Channel 4 started. The first programme to air on 4 was the incredibly popular game show Countdown.
Hello, good evening, and as the countdown to a brand new channel ends, a brand new countdown begins.
Channel 4 would go on in the next decade to be a popular alternative to BBC and ITV. As the early 90s came around, 4 was no longer a new channel and had secured its place in the airwaves. In 1993, the Channel 4 television company became the Channel 4 Television Corporation, and started to appeal to a wider market and become more mainstream, distancing itself from the alternate channel it was in its conception. The channel has gone under this company up to today, with some rejected attempts to privatise by the government or by the corporation. In the 2000s, Channel 4 made a few moves that would increase its popularity. More channels started to emerge from the station. E4, a channel targeted at youth, was established on the 18th of January 2001, and More4, a more documentary-based channel, launched a few years later in 2005. This next decade saw a new era for popular programming on 4, such as reality show Big Brother first airing in 2000, and the panel game, The Big Fat Quiz of the Year, first starting in 2004. 2004 also being the year that Channel 4 premiered its new set of idents, what would become their most popular. This brand further submerged 4 into popularity. By this point, 4 was as watched and enjoyed as its rival channels. The transition to digital television was something that the main 5 channels at the time of the late 90s and early 2000s, as analogue TV started to die out and more people started to use televisions that pick up digital signals only. Eventually, towards the late 2000s and early 2010s, analogue switched off completely. Different channels switched over at different times, but how did Channel 4 transition? In 2006, it was announced that Channel 4 would pay its digital switchover through a licence fee, although it is a commercial channel. 4's digital transition was completed by 2012. Since their launch, Channel 4's first identity brand was never aired again, up until the 22nd of January 2021, where the original batch of idents were brought back for the premiere of 80s drama It's a Sin.
A very good morning to you. You're watching Channel 4. Today is a special day as we look forward to our brand new drama, It's a Sin, at 9 o'clock tonight. But for now, here's Countdown. A very exciting day here on Channel 4. Our new drama, It's a Sin, starts at 9 o'clock tonight. I know where I'll be, and you should be too if you don't want to miss out. But right now, though, it's time for Mike and Molly. You're watching Channel 4. And that's right, our new 1980s drama, It's a Sin, starts tonight at 9. I'll be telling you more about that throughout the day. Now, though, we rejoin Mike and Molly. You're watching Channel 4. Tonight, from acclaimed screenwriter and producer Russell T Davies, comes Channel 4's new drama, It's a Sin, at 9, where we go back to the 1980s. And we're there now, at the Cheers Bar. So, as you've just heard tonight here on Channel 4, a brand new 1980s drama, It's a Sin. A little risque to talk about at this time of the morning, but tune in at 9 tonight. Now, more cheers.
It's nice to see the station looking back and seeing how far they've come in the decades that they've been on the air. Channel 4 will become 40 years old this year in November, so maybe expect a video then. Now we've looked at the past of 4, now let's look into 4's future. All 4, Channel 4's online on-demand streaming service, was released in 2015 and could be described as Channel 4's response to BBC iPlayer and ITV Hub. In my last video, which you're free to check out anytime, I discussed how the future of television could lie in channels turning to streaming services, just like how analogue turned to digital, linear could turn to streaming. Could all 4 be the answer? We can predict how stations such as BBC could evolve into online channels, but we can't predict what will happen to 4. Could a commercial channel ever have to worry about issues the BBC is facing, such as maintaining costs before a licence fee stops? Let's just hope that Channel 4 will live on. Well, that's all from me this evening. As always, I've been Hux Media. I'll see you next week for another discussion type video, and I want to wish you all watching at home a good night. Good night.